Hi, this is Mr. Cerise, and this learning target is from geometry, drawing conclusion from given information about a diagram. In this proof, a triangle is given to us, and this triangle is called FKJ, and it has some line segments that are drawn from K to the opposite side, which is FJ. What is given to us in addition to being a triangle is that we have four statements. Our first statement is that angle F is congruent to angle 1. And I have those marked with one tick line, and I shaded in some red here, and I have number 1. Our second piece of information that is given to us, our clues, is that J, angle J, which is shaded down here and has two tick marks, is congruent to angle 2, which is also coming from vertex K. We are also given that lines FK is perpendicular to KH, and that GK is perpendicular to KJ. So we have some 90-degree angles there, which I know it doesn't look 90, but you see the tick marks. You got to go by the tick marks, and you got to go by the marks on the diagram, which are from the given. Now, what we're asked to prove is over here that angle F is congruent to angle J. So we want to show that this angle F and angle J are actually the same value or the same color. So we have our given, we have some marks on our diagram. I'm also going to call this middle angle here angle 3 because I'm going to use that later in the proof. So in this slide, I just kind of show things algebraically using variables. You can see that if F and 1, and remember angle 1 was right here, if F and 1 are congruent, and then we also had that angle J and Y, which was our number 2, are congruent, you can see that how I have in red here, well then X plus 90 minus X has to make the right angle that I have here in purple. And Y, along with 90 minus Y, is going to have to be true for the right angle that is in orange. So if you see here how I have this is angle number 3 here, that's going to be 90 minus X and 90 minus Y. And if we set those equal to each other and we simplify, we end up finding that X equals Y. If X and Y must be the same, well then it's going to lead us to the conclusion that 1 and 2 will be the same. Let's see how this looks in a 2-column proof. You always start your 2-column proof with your given. Now from your given, there are some conclusions within the proof that you should be able to come to by knowing some facts. For example, perpendicular lines, they make right angles. So you have to state that. And you have to state that for each of the right angles that are created. Now, some teachers might want more written. Some allow you to condense it. So that's something for you to learn as to the style that your specific teacher is asking. Now, I'd like you to consider this. You can see that angle 1 and angle 3, they make the red right angle that I have here. And since they make that, they have to equal 90 when they're added together. And we have the same true story when we're talking about angle 2 and angle 3, but this is for what I have here for my orange right angle. And that came out to be 90. You would have to state that these are complements because they make a right angle. Then there is a special theorem that I'm marking over here with the stars, where if two angles are complementary to the same angle, well then the angles are congruent. Here's a concrete example with numbers. 60 plus y equals 60 plus x. Well, obviously y and x would both have to be 30. So I'm going to make that statement right here, and some teachers, they might like you to number your statements. I'm not certain if that's true or not with the teacher that you have. So I'm up to statement number 9 here. Now, I still haven't gotten my angle F with my angle J. So that's going to be my next line, because this is statement number 1, this is statement number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and it looks like I have 9 here, 9 statements. Now, on my 10th statement, I'm going to be able to say that, this is angle 1, that angle J is congruent to angle F. And that's what I was supposed to prove. Now, how can I say that? And I'm going to say from number 1, number 2, and number 9, we have what's called the transitive property. And the transitive property says that if A equals B and B equals C, well then A must equal C. And so if we think about, just on a side note here, what do we have? We have F is congruent to 1, J is congruent to 2, angle 1 is congruent to angle 2. So if 1 and 2 are the same, then I can say that angle F is going to be congruent to angle J. Because these essentially are like the C. Angle F equals C. Angle J equals C. So angle F is congruent to angle J. And this is called the transitive property. It is possible that some teachers might like you to have a little substitution step in the middle here, where you kind of come out and say, since angle 1 equals angle 2, they might want you to say, okay, so in that case, angle J equals angle 1, and then you would use the transitive. It kind of depends on how your teacher's style is, and that's why ask questions in class and take notes and kind of follow along with what they're doing as well. Hope this is helpful, and never be afraid to ask questions in class. It's very complicated material to learn on the first time, but with practice and more experience, it all kind of starts coming together. Thanks for listening, and hope this was helpful.